Hello everybody and welcome to this webinar where we will talk about the new subscription functionality. The agenda for today is to first give you a brief introduction with some practical information. Then we'll take a look at some of the new application and what the changes are. And then we will do a live demonstration in the system. So my name is Hendrik, and as I said, we will look at the subscription functionality today. Note that this webinar will be recorded for training purposes. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask by using the chat functionality or save those till the end of the session. I will also kindly ask you to mute yourself during the presentation and unmute by the end if you have any questions or comments. So, the subscription functionality is the first part of the Rental 2.0 solution, and this will be the basis for the next rental solution in RamBase. We are also introducing some changes to current applications, so we have done some changes in the art application where you could define products for subscription use. We are also doing some changes in the sales quote and sales order application where the user could combine both subscription items and order items on the same sales document here. I can also just mention here that these changes will only be visible if you have turned on the module for rental. In addition to this, we have created two new applications, standard recurring prices, that will give you an overview of all your standard recurring prices, and you will have the possibility to update and create new prices from here. And second, we have created a recurring invoice plan application where the user will have an overview of all subscription plans and in the future also rental plans. In addition to this, the user will be able to invoice manually, or it's possible to activate automatic invoice creation. So I will now move into RamBase and we will take a look at this new functionality. So I will start in the product application. As you can see here, we have a field called sales type, and this will list the subscription. This is also something that we will have to enter when we create a new product. Then we select the sales type, subscription, and then the type will automatically be value-added service. Then we could enter the name of the product, and we can create. I can activate the product right away. And we can enter a standard recurring price for this specific product. I can also mention that some of the tabs is not visible since this is a non-stock product. So we create the standard recurring price, then we select the currency. We can select when this should be effective from. So I will just select that this was effective from the 1st of January. And I will just leave the expiration date as blank. Once it's created in status 1, we could edit the price and we could define the price steps here. We select which period we should invoice for, just use month, and we can also enter a minimum billing period. So this means that if you have a plan, you have to at least invoice, let's say 4 months before you can finish it. Then I can add a price step. Then for quantity 1, the first month, the price should be 1500. And I can also add more price steps here. We also have an option to enter one-time fees. Then we have different types. We have a start, deposit, and then end one-time fee. And this could be connected to a product. This is start, and then the price here. We can also add more here. And the final is the usage steps. Here we could enter a usage unit, And we can also enter how the usage interval should be calculated. So when I said the whole period, it will be the period that I selected here, so the whole month. A usage unit here could, for example, be that if you have a license that is, you will maybe charge a standard price, but you will also charge based on how much they've used it. You could add it here. Then we can add 10 and 1, and the price should be 10. And we can also add more usage steps saying that if they use 10, the price will increase to 15. Once we are done here, we could save. Then we can activate. We will also see when we hover over here what this price is. We have a possibility to create more prices, both in Norwegian, but we can also choose other currencies here. Like this. From this application, we could navigate further into the standard recurring price, which is the new. And then it looks like this, where we have a list of all our current standard recurring prices. Here we will see the recurring price. We can see the product ID with the link. And we will also have a possibility to create a new standard recurring price here. In addition to what we already saw in the product application, we also have a field that is called replaces price. And this field you could choose among other prices. As you can see now, I have now chosen this price. And this will then, the new price that I have chosen here will replace all plans that are currently using this price if we have set this price change to be automatic. And this is something that we will look into when we create a new order. So then we can go into the sales order application. And here I have created a normal sales order. And as you can see down here, we have options now to add both a sales order item and also subscription item. I add a subscription item here. I search for the product. This will list only the products that have type subscription. So I will select the license monthly here. And then I will select the price. I will also have the option here to add a special price, and I can also do some changes to the current price here. Then the same pop-up will open as we had in when we created this price. I select when this should be available for. So this was actually from the beginning of the year, so I will select the 1st of January. And here is the change of price that I mentioned, that if we had this set to automatic and we use the replace price option, it will replace the price here. You can also choose to have it fixed and manually, that you can manually change the price. We can choose the quantity here, and we can also set an estimated end date, or we can set in if we have a date there. There's also settings saying that the plan should automatically be renewed when we reach this end date. And then we can create. We can also go into the item and do more changes if we forgot something, and we can change it here. When we are done with the order, we can choose to register the sales order. Then we can choose an already existing invoice plan if it's the same customer, or we can also choose to create a new one. Here we can choose the invoice schedule. So I will say monthly, and we can also choose the base date here. Then I would like to use the base date should also be the 1st of January. So the invoice periods will start calculating from the 1st of 1st. We have the payment terms and the VAT handling, and then we also have some options here. We can say that this should be automatically invoiced, and we can also say that it should be advanced invoicing, meaning that we will invoice this in the future. If I select this one, we will also get an advanced invoice date. So this is the number of days before the period starts, the invoice should be created. If I say 0, it will be created on the same day as the period starts. And then we can register here. The sales order will go directly to status 9, and we will continue working on the recurring invoice plan. As you see here, we have this in status 9, and then we can further navigate into the item. And here we have this recurring invoice plan. So as we can see on this view, we have an invoice periods. We have one that is already invoiced since I started the period from the 1st, 2022. We have created already 2 invoices here. They could also be seen in this process flow. And in here we have the future periods. We could enter a usage here. Let's say that we know that in the future, in the 17th of March, they will use maybe 10. We will also get it on the invoice period here. In the price agreements, we can see the price, current price. We can also see how the accounting is. And we also have a custom fields over here. We can further navigate to the document level, where we'll see some settings. Here we could change this advanced invoice date. We can select that we would like to have the invoice to be created 3 days before the period. And then we can see that the invoice date here is also changed. We also have an option here to create period adjustments automatically. And this could be used, for example, if you have an invoice schedule of that is annually, and you would like to have the invoice over 12 months instead of the first month here. The items will show you all your items that you have on this recurring invoice plan, and we will have an overview of how much you have invoiced and what we are expecting in the future. We also have a list of all the current plans, and we can choose between them here. We also have these invoices that could be released manually. Then we just select like this, and we can create invoices. I'll not do that now. We can also take a look at the invoices. So I will just take a look at this one, the first invoice on the plan. And as you remember, we have this license monthly here, and we also had a startup fee that will be added as an extra line here. And from here, we could register and send the sales invoice to the customer. So thank you for your time and have a nice day.